boobs.
I think that's a good heading point for this stream.
Yeah,
So-
that's how you spell it.
We return to Desideratum.
Which should be white, but it's black instead.
Yes, the
There's
white
some sort of
city
racist joke I can make about this.
Uh-huh.
Oh, good lord, no.
I take offense because I'm a drow.
Yes, well, as a catfish, I take offense to your human term catfishing.
Right. You guys have just regathered yourselves after being scattered mildly by an attack by a Yamiraj psychopomp, which came across you while Fulton was trying to pray up a spell to make it easier to find your way to the Postulatorum, the great tower at the center of this city, where all souls go to be judged. You were in the middle of this, getting yourselves back together and figuring out the logistics of how injured everyone is, when Shinalar bamfed away.
Well, I can't unbamfer, so...
No, you are not a magic man.
Exactly, that's why I'm gonna keep walking.
Let's
Can
flame her and
Matt-
eat her skin.
Can Magic Man become a prestige class?
Only if the player taking it sings that song every session.
I'm still sad that Piano Man isn't a prestige class for bards.
You understand now that someone's going to actually want to take this, and you're going to really regret saying that.
No?
No, I kind of like that song. So
yeah,
well,
but you're not going to
that's
like
what I
us
mean.
singing it.
Yes, do you think any of us singing it is going to do justice to that song on your mind?
that's not a problem. I'll just take the that snippet of the stream and run it through Songify Me or something like that. It sounds win-win to me.
Yeah, so then we become internet celebrities.
So Fulton,
No.
as the person who was speaking to Shinalar directly when she disappeared, how do you react to this?
Speaking out of character for a moment, because Fulton's reaction in character is not going to be the most expressive.
Yep.
It's difficult. Because on the one hand, if they weren't, kind of in the middle of something and couldn't stop for longer than a few minutes here because there are things like more of those Yamiraj hunting them, he'd want to go find her. But they're in a situation where they need to keep moving, and it's actually pretty vitally important that they keep doing what they're doing. And on her part, her bamfing away before, he could spend at least 10 minutes preparing a way to make it so she can actually move quickly again is seen as a sacrifice on her end. And it is a direct teaching of Iomade to respect the sacrifices of your comrades. So he's kind of torn in this regard. He really wants to go find her and make sure he's safe, but that's not what he's been taught to do or how he's going to act.
Well, no problem. I can see her on the map.
Yeah, she's so close by.
Fulton, can you make a DC... hold up. Can you make a DC 26 spellcraft?
Spellcraft? Not automatically, but it's possible.
I should like you to try. You
Actually,
don't
wait.
know what spell that is. That
Hold on just a second.
Oh.
That
Forgot something.
spellcraft is not accurate.
plus 19.
That's weird. Why isn't that accurate?
Possibly you just didn't update it after hitting level 19?
No, Did my sheet mess up what's classic and what isn't? One of these is inaccurate. Either my token is inaccurate or my sheet is. I need to figure this out now.
Okay.
Well, spellcraft should be a class skill.
That's what I would assume. And if it is a class skill, I have a plus 22, not a plus 19.
I mean, unless I'm really misforgetting, you were a cleric, and I assume...
It's technically possible that they don't have spellcraft. No,
Anything
no,
is
spellcraft.
possible, but you're a
They do.
spellcaster.
Yeah, so spellcraft should be
Spellcraft is
22,
technically-
so let's fix that. You want me to roll again?
No. 22
So yeah,
will make
add
that...
3 on that.
Okay.
I stumbled upon Pathfinder's gender guidelines while I was searching for something the other day.
What?
Oh, I'm sure those aren't weird at all.
I must see these.
I'd have to see if I can find them again, but it's just their guidelines for their writers on how you should address gender in your writing.
I'm actually kind of interested.
If you're referring to a class and you don't know the character's gender, you refer to it as the gender of the iconic of that class.
Yep.
I don't know why they came up with this, but it's a thing.
Yeah, which is why paladins are her, but fighters are him.
Well, it's still better than taking the generic English equivalent, which would be always him.
I think either of those is better than trying to endlessly cram him/her into every possible sentence.
Agreed.
Him,
So,
him slash her slash it slash them.
Alden, you are aware that that was a dimension door that she invoked in front of you, but all that means is that she could be anywhere within a mile of where you're standing. Half mile, sorry.
Yes, which makes searching for her, especially since these are buildings you could go into, incredibly difficult.
Yep.
So, in character, Fulton would have just sighed very heavily as he thinks through all these possible conclusions that I just brought up.
I don't think anyone can read orcish facial expressions through your helmet, so you should be
Yes.
good to have this brief inner conflict. And then?
And then duty calls. We have to get Pharasma to the Postulatorum. It is a helmet miter. It is not a
Pope
Pope
hat.
hat.
Pope hat.
No.
Pope. Hat.
Fine, if you have the Pope on it, it's a Pope helmet.
Space Pope helmet.
Poop hat.
That's a
I have-
different thing.
Do I have to fucking show you this thing again? I'm gonna do it.
No, I know the picture, but that's still a helmet.
So, what are you three and your
No, but the top
demigodly
part can come off, so...
and your demigodly ward? What's your plan? Are you going to camp down again and try and find the path going, or are you going to try to eyeball it?
I think eyeballing is our best option, because last time we tried find the path,
We're just gonna have to eyeball it.
on the plus side, we now know that we can walk over these buildings.
Yeah, that's something.
So how about we just start walking in a straight line to the Postulatorum?
Sounds good to me.
The problem is we have to climb down and up the sides of the building somehow.
Yes, but that's quicker than getting lost in the maze.
And we use stone shape to get up this building.
Yes, but you can walk up the side normally.
Yeah, it's slower than walking, but you can climb up the sides of the buildings with little difficulty, thanks to this plane's, or at least this city's, desperation to keep people from losing contact with solid ground at all times.
Basically, the
Yeah,
only
like-
reason I had any trouble doing it at all is because with the combat scenario, we can just take 10s and walk up the walls.
Yeah, if we're being attacked, it'll probably be difficult for any of us that don't know how to actually climb. But until then...
I'm the only one who doesn't need to climb.
We're aware.
Yes, you can cheat.
I'm a cheater. I turn into energy.
I could turn myself into an angel and try to fly, but it wouldn't work.
I can walk like a normal human or dwarf, or just a humanoid being, honestly. So I'm gonna do that. I'm walking.
The dwarf is a dwarf.
I'm going to be bamfing across the rows, but I'll stay just ahead of them so I can keep an eye out for crap.
Okay. Erasma will trail in Garazan's footsteps. And Fulton, are you information with those two, or are you attempting to also keep a sort of forward watch?
Keeping information.
Okay.
Want to be nearby for Asma.
Alrighty. Avealathel, could I get from you a... Oh, let's see here. A pair of perception checks and something for navigation-esque. Survival would be sufficient, or straight int if you don't have training.
I can do this.
No, wait, survival's wisdom-based, so whiz-based. You can't? Avealathel is the sort of scouting ahead and leading the way.
Fran?
I don't have survival, I just have knowledge nature, so straight wisdom for me is +1.
Okay.
Press the button.
You press the button. Yeah, it's, well, derp. Just a second.
To be clear, that gender guide you linked is not actually the Pathfinder official one.
I know, it's from Rogue Genius. For whatever, yeah.
Also, let me know if you guys are going to stop to heal up or anything, because although Fulton and Garazan are still okay, Avealathel is down to 50%.
I thought a lot of that was... Actually, that's weird. Why is she down to 50% when I...
That's all from my...
It's all from non-lethal, yeah.
Don't
What
worry,
if that had
that's
gotten
the state I'm
healed
supposed to
first?
do. It doesn't heal till I sleep.
Oh, okay. So there's nothing we can do about that, basically.
No, even if you heal me, it just heals my normal hit points. It won't do anything about that.
Yeah, she's only 40 down in actual damage.
Oh, I'm actually... I thought I had been completely cured of actual damage, but nope.
No, I threw out a fair amount of healing here, but I want to hold some stuff in reserve for what we run into next.
Okay.
I find it funny that I can do 13 channels a day when I'm pretty sure I would be knocked out after 12.
Right. Just due to how many hit points you have available to it, right?
Yeah, and I have the most hit points I possibly could have.
Yeah. Alright. Meanwhile, Shinalar, you are in a small... It's a small, It's a small house. It's part of a greater building, but, well, to be frank, in universe you don't have a word for apartment, so a small townhouse. And you're here with a Gala Azada, which you summoned before we broke session last time. And yes. What are you up to?
Well... Yes, thank you, Brad.
Ouch.
I think the most important thing to note is this is not the same angel.
Oh, this is not the Azado you usually summon first.
It's a holiday. It's his day off.
I believe they're all female so far.
Gala and
Two days.
Zada are. As are Liland.
How do they get more of them then?
They're outsiders. Don't ask questions you're not prepared to give the answer to.
I want to hear the answer to this.
They acquire more Vespian gas.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
It was to collect additional pylons. Now get on with it.
Well, she'll look at the Azada very strangely. Where's Anashaba?
She left our side to come in aid to some summoner.
Yes, that was me.
And she is not here on some errand to you now?
She is not. This place has interrupted my summonings. She never arrived.
This seems to give the Azada a few moments of pause. And then, as if noticing it for the first time, she looks about her surroundings and sees that small scattering of feathers that did appear when you last attempted to summon.
Oh no.
Could you make a sense motive, please?
Okay, just roll a 20.
This Azada's going to be pissed.
She adjusts her posture a bit and looks a bit more stone-faced, but makes no comment.
What happened?
You are aware, are you not, of where you are?
Unfortunately, yes.
Of why this place and many places connected to it are... I would not use the term forbidden, but perhaps unwelcoming suffice.
Of a means?
Souls enter this realm in one direction and in one place only. By design. That you can overcome that is simply testament to your skill, but that does not change physics.
Then where is she?
Izada holds out a hand to the scattered feathers. She came at your call.
And this is where there's going to be a blank look of dawning realization, I believe.
I was joking when I said killing angels, but there you go.
Yeah,
Why
limitations
would you
of
think it was a
radio.
joke?
Pardon me?
Why would you think it's a joke?
Quick, summon Tree Razor here.
Come on, what?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
The days of Sionalia being a dick.
Back to the topic at hand. We shall try regardless.
We're D&D players. We have to.
Summon Medrapaga.
If we had the... I could technically try that.
No, then he comes here and devours Pharasma. We're all doomed.
Cool.
We're already pretty doomed. You know, if you put enough doomed in a pot, it might cancel itself out. It's like if the Tarrasque ever wakes up, that's why you summon like a bigger, meaner end of the world thing.
Yeah, it's like if I were still playing Aaliyah, I would definitely be singing the Dirge of Doom right now.
Go ahead, Kaylee.
There must be some way to fix this. I never meant her actual harm. She deserves better than this.
All we who can come to the sides of those who would call us do so, perhaps not willingly is the right word, but it is our duty.
I don't care about your duty. I care about her essence, her life, what... I did not... How do we restore her?
There is no her left to restore. She is of the Outer Planes, native unto it, and originally from it. There is no dichotomy of soul to her, or to any of us. Her soul attempted to cross the barrier into this realm, and did not make the transit.
Then it is simply gone.
Just throwing this out there, because your character would probably know this, even though it doesn't help you. True Resurrection will raise her.
Technically, Wish will as well. I know the exact
enough
details.
magic at it, it'll fix itself.
Yes, wish, miracle, the super high level stuff will
The
do
you
it,
know
but...
the reality changing spells can fix this, but she doesn't have access
a
to those.
A simple level 9 cleric spell will do it. And 25,000 gold.
Yeah.
That's
That
none of
doesn't
these.
around us.
Because she is alone now, she has access to none of these.
Well, don't worry, you have 10 years per caster level to get her back.
Let leave her be for a minute.
This was not how this was meant to be.
Izada looks like she considers that statement for a few moments, then pointedly turns and just checks the window and the doors and makes sure that both of you are safe and puts on a 500-yard stare. An expression that you're used to seeing on soldiers standing at duty, just waiting for something to do or something to be told to do.
Speak to me, damn it. What one of you freed me. It was for a reason, and it was not to slaughter your own kind like some sort of slave mistress myself. Speak.
Our duty extends to furthering your ends, not making them.
Then put me in command with someone that can.
Put you in command of?
That's the wrong word, but contact is what I meant.
Ah, gotcha.
Words, how do they work?
Well, you take some noises and you put them together.
Careful, I'll do the dinosaur shriek over the mic then.
Do the canary cry. Canary
Don't
cry.
tempt me, I've been told it's horrifying.
Okay, no, do it. Skullhat thinks he can emulate it, so you have to do it.
Oh, I fucking don't. Oh, yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah, it's fun.
Not from you, I just have a friend who does a similar sound.
That's not the canary cry.
All you gotta do is breathe in while basically vibrating your vocal cords.
So many jokes I could make off that. So many.
It was at one point a party trick that I could talk both while breathing outwards and while breathing inwards.
Oh god, it's the devil.
Oh god, he's gotten the devil in him. We gotta purify him. Hold on, I know where he lives. Come on, guys, let's go.
I've done that before, but not in a while.
So why isn't that just the Yamaraj's voice? That would have worked great.
Yeah.
It probably hurts like a bitch. But,
Well, some good voices do.
If I could still do this.
but if the cinema snob has taught me anything, he can't be possessed because the devil only possesses vaginas.
Yeah.
What?
You guys are gonna have to look that meme up yourselves.
Yeah, I'm done. No, we're moving on.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Good session.
Alright, you guys put me in contact with someone who... Could you repeat?
It was basically implied putting her in contact with someone that actually can change events, rather than simply follow orders. That was the implication.
Briefly double-check the Azada spell list.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't have commune, so...
The Gala Azadas? No.
Wasn't looking precisely for commune so much as... Intervention is not in my power. That is what mortals do. It is what you were meant to do.
I don't care what I was meant to do. I will not stand by this mistake. It makes me no better than any of them. To just simply be using you for your own death.
You misunderstand. If you wish to speak with a higher power, that is in your power, not mine.
Then how?
If you've not spoken to one before, there is one who would listen to you now. She reaches into your cloak, pulls out your small knife from your waist, and places it in your hand.
See, she wants you to eat her wings.
Really?
Why?
Sorry, I'm not helpful.
And what do you mean me to do with this?
There is someone who will listen to you if you die for something you.
It's time to stare long and hard at a knife.
Long and hard.
Yes, ha ha ha.
What? I'm 13. What do you want?
This is where we start singing the Blink-182 song, right?
No. No, it is not.
All the small things?
Well, slowly she'll pick up the dagger. And, after a moment's hesitation, plunging it straight in.
You collapse. Meanwhile, you guys have made it a fair ways towards the tower. There's with Avelathel keeping an eye out and trying to lead the way forward. You manage to avoid a few Yamaraj that are roaming the city's rooftops. You have a close call with one that was skulking around in alleys looking for anyone who was about them, but Avelathel managed to spot it before the rest of you stumbled right into it. And as you're getting closer to the tower, you're like under a half mile away now. The structure of the city begins changing. It's still zigzagged with random alleys, but more and more of the buildings are they're not houses and occasional little markets and other places of repose and service, but more of them are temple-like. Temples of all shapes, all sizes, all symbologies, especially those that none of you are familiar with. Fulton included. Many of them are completely abandoned. You don't see anything in the windows, and the interior seems covered in thick layers of dust. Some of them are only recently abandoned. It perhaps gives Fulton pause when he notices that there is a temple to Erodin here, and inside the temple there is just a single thin track of footsteps in the dust that seems to go back and forth up the aisles, and dust on everything else. But there's also some that are still in service. There are people gathered outside and inside them, in various, and when I say people, I mean the same sort of translucent white spirits that you've been seeing this whole city inhabited by. Speaking of translucent white spirits, Garazin, your friend, who you pried that board off of the wall of his house, he's still following just a few steps behind you and nattering in some unknown language.
He's just part of the scenery at this point.
Fulton would try to talk to him, but he has no idea what the guy is saying, which means it's very unlikely he'll be able to communicate at all.
He does not even look at any of the rest of you. His attention is fixed on Garazin.
You have no need for that board anymore.
At this point, I'm keeping it for patience' sake.
Whether you guys...
Either he runs out of patience or I do, and I'm not to lose this fight.
Whether you left it behind or Garazzin's still carrying it over one shoulder, the spirit is still following.
So even if we had left it behind, he'd still be following?
Yep.
Wait, Fulton would still take it from Garazin and try to hand it over to the spirit.
It passes right through him, and he does not even glance in your direction. He just continues his irritated nattering and wild gesticulations of hands at Garazin.
We got some ghost touch boots and kick him in the dick.
Congratulations, Garazin. You've made an angry friend. You can keep the board.
Good, I might need it.
And then Fulton goes back to being quiet, because he's still not in the best of moods right now.
Veolathil, could I get a pair of fresh perception and a whiz check from you?
Sure, and aside from that, I also want to look around and see if there's it's a long shot, but I'm going to see if I recognize any of the symbols on any of the temples too while I'm looking.
Okay.
So let's see, 2 perceptions.
Yep, and knowledge religion if you want to try and recognize any. Straight int if untrained.
Yeah, and because it's not trained, I'm just going to take the 10 in it and see what I get.
Okay. +0? +2.
I have a +2.
Yep, carry on.
And sorry, straight whiz too, right?
Yep. Okay. Veolathil manages to successfully guide you guys around the roaming Yamiraj, and without being noticed by, without getting too close, rather, to too many of the crowds. And you finally emerge out at the to the edge of the maze-like city to, well, an air gap is probably the best way to call it. The temple isn't the central spire is not just connected to the rest of the city on the ground. You emerge from the edge of the city, see a circular street running around a great gap of air, maybe 100 feet across. And you look down and see that this great spire seems to rest on a hemisphere of stone, connected to the city by 4 great bridges, but otherwise not connected at all to the great yawning black chasm that it floats over. A single thin beam of light seems to come up from that blackness into the bottom of the hemisphere that the tower is supported by. And the tower stretches probably a full mile up from street level here.
The fuck are we supposed to cross this?
There are 4 great
They said there were
bridges
4 bridges.
connecting the spire to the city.
I say we climb down the cliff to the bottom because it's got to have one eventually, and then we climb up the side.
I'm sure that's easily the most
the hemisphere
efficient
that's floating,
option.
I know.
That will just get you
Also,
to the
hemisphere
other
is floating. We can't get up that way.
Yeah. Also, you note that around the perimeter of the of this chasm is a ornate metal fence, about 10 foot tall, that rings this chasm.
I say we jump it. Oh wait.
Fulton will turn to Pharasma. Do you remember anything that may possibly go wrong to create unforeseen problems for us upon attempting to enter the tower?
The tower is guarded, but not heavily, and it does not look from here. He peeks down towards the nearest bridge a few hundred feet around the perimeter to you guys' left if you're facing the spire. It does not look like the guards have been reinforced. She gestures. Looks like a handful of elegantly armored figures standing to either side of the bridge.
Why does the tower need to be guarded if all souls eventually reach here?
Would it surprise you to know that I have perhaps less than absolute faith in the in eternity? Just because things have always been the way that they are doesn't mean that they always will be.
That's not very something I want to hear coming from a deity.
But it is a fair point.
This place is guarded for 2 reasons. To look like it is guarded, and so that there is someone there to let those inside know when chaos is not the right word, but perhaps entropy might approaches.
Mm-hmm.
So a glorified doorbell.
Not a doorbell, a warning system.
Doorbell.
Maybe among dwarven kind.
Do you have different kinds of doorbells?
Let's assume that the guards are not about to let us pass. Do you think that's a valid assumption, my Lady Pharasma?
I truly cannot tell you. Were the Yamaraj still sane, I could have quelled him with a look, and that would have been the end of that fight. But instead, they hunt us like animals. Not we being animals, they. I cannot predict what my fellow minions may now be doing.
But these guardsmen are the same sense of purpose and duty as the Yamaraj once were.
Well,
Are they any more powerful than the Ramirage?
no.
Then we can force our way through if we need to.
If we approach with weapons drawn and they don't intend a fight, then it is pointless. If we approach without weapons drawn and they do intend to fight, then we are in danger. If we can determine anything about them before approaching, that would be best. Actually, looking at the bridges, is anyone trying to cross?
Yeah, it looks like occasionally a soul does cross and go across the bridge to the temple.
Do we see the guards from here?
The guards don't seem to be stopping any of the souls that are passing through.
They're letting others through, so the only possible reason they would have for stopping us is that we did not get here in the conventional method, or that Pharasma is with us.
Or that we blew something up.
Yes, that too. Certainly not intentionally, but...
Well, we don't have a ton of options, and no matter how we slice this thing, we have to take the bridge, so we might as well get it over with. If they start fighting, we'll fight our way through.
Fulton will make sure his sword is sheathed.
Yeah, don't look at me, I don't carry weapons.
And now he's going to march towards the bridge, back to muttering prayers under his breath.
Leaving the others here, a couple 100 feet from the bridge.
If they don't follow him, he'll stop.
I'm following.
Okay.
I'm following too, and hey, Stone Lord, is he muttering obscenities about me?
No, those aren't obscenities, unless you consider deities obscene. He likes to pray to his particular god a great deal more than most.
You
know what a cleric is, right?
A few of the words he was saying.
You know what a cleric is, right? You got those from where you're from?
Of course.
He's one of them. Religious folk. Summon the power of the deities. So on.
Rasma follows not far in any of your footsteps. And so does Urazen's errant spirit.
We don't tend to travel around with our clerics, but we have them.
Oh, this one worships a war deity, more or less, so he's inclined to be paladin-like, if you know what a paladin is, assuming.
Of course, again, we don't have divine casters on many of our ships.
Speaking from the front, not war, righteous valor.
I thought you don't understand.
War with excuses.
That is a problem. I don't think you understand the language they're speaking.
Oh, well, you should probably specify what language you're speaking then, because I
He
assume
always
that
speaks Elven
Avea
on
was still
default.
trying to practice Common.
Unless I speak in broken English, I'm speaking Elven. I'm playing her as not being. She speaks enough Common to get by, but she's not versational in it.
Alright, yeah, then that didn't happen then. There are some languages Fulton definitely needs to learn, but he probably never will. Too many other things to be doing.
It's one
Ain't that
skill
life.
point. Or the tongue spell.
And yes, Fulton is the most direct. He's a guy who has a natural talent for casting spells, but he chose to learn the sword because he wants to hit things.
Yep.
Well,
Yes,
keep marching.
we tend to not bring our divine casters with us on ships because their powers don't work in the flow.
That's interesting.
And if you get to a crystal sphere where their god doesn't have rain, they don't have their powers there either.
Huh.
You reach the bridge, and the guards do not seem to move or react on your approach. They do stand in a formation so that the only gap to pass between them is like broad-shouldered width, and the two who are standing closest, the two who abut the gap that you can pass through, are holding spears, just upright, standing at attention.
Well, Fulton will approach the opening to see if they react in any way.
There are two kinds of guard here. One set of them, one pair of them, the ones actually, the ones with the spears, they are in the sort of legionnaires' armor, and you can see that the backs of you, as you came around, you can see that the backs of their armors are bare. They have the bare backs facing the air and breastplate at front, and their face is just shiny onyx. No visible face.
Interesting.
The other kind that you see here have I apparently closed. Where does it go? There we go. Where they put you very much in mind of the Azada that you have become quite familiar with. These ones are pale women in long flowing gowns worn over metallic armor. They do not seem to be holding any weapons.
Well, Fulton will approach the two with spears who have what appears to be the real way past them between them.
Their black faces give no indication that they're looking at you.
He will attempt to pass.
You pass between them, and they barely even lean aside to give way to your passage.
I'll follow him.
You pass through, and they do not seem to give any notice of your passage.
Third.
No, Garazan, take up the rear.
Alright.
Yeah, let Pharasma go next.
Alright, Pharasma, you're up.
Red Rover, send Pharasma over.
Pharasma steps up to them, stops just before crossing the threshold, and looks them in the eye. Mutters something under her breath, and then steps through very nervously. But they do not move to stop her.
Fulton, look at Pharasma. Actually, we'll wait to see what happens with Garazan first.
I make the cross.
You cross through, and they make no motion to stop you.
Okay, Fulton will look at Pharasma and
The spirit,
tilt his helmeted
the spirit
head.
that was following Garazan attempts to shove his way through, but the two soldiers, lightning quick, extend their arms holding the spears and block his passage. And his shouts that have just been irate nattering at Garazan takes on a much louder tone, and he begins assaulting the guards. Who quickly
I wave him farewell as I quickly make distance.
Who take their spears, pin him solidly to the ground with them, and the other two guards begin rending him to pieces.
Never told you to keep following me, guy.
His screams can still be heard sometime after there is nothing left of him there.
Pharasma.
That was kind of fucked up.
I do not think they know their duty anymore. They would not have stopped us even if they knew to.
And why'd they try and murder his ass? All he was doing was following me for reasons I don't even know about.
We aren't spirits. Can they even detect us?
I know not.
This is not how this should be. Let's keep moving.
In setting across the bridge. Meanwhile, Shinalar.
Gurgle.
After the
Well, yeah, you're gonna
blackness...
believe me, well. Sorry.
After the blackness took you, you did not expect to sit up again. You find yourself in an empty white space. No features, no horizon, no floor, no sky, just whiteness, and yet you do lay upon something, and that knife is still lodged in your chest. And you look around to make sense of your surroundings. Actually, it's Kansas. And you find that there is a man sitting on the floor, just a few feet away from you. You don't know why you didn't notice him quicker. And he's pouring a cup of tea. Pours a second cup and slides it closer to you. You notice that he sits cross-legged, but he has only one leg.
Hey, it's this guy again.
Does she actually recognize him?
After the initial shock gets past you, yes, you do.
Hello.
Weird.
So, what brings you to me?
Oh.
I wish to rectify a great wrong that I have done.
It is why I am here.
In the pursuit of my own goals, as good as I may have believed them to be, I have slain something that is empirically, purely good. Something that cannot be so easily replaced.
He continues, he sips at his tea, continues to stare at you, waiting.
I give myself, in whatever capacity I can, to return her if possible. Atone if not.
And is there anything else that you would do with your life besides return one other?
Not such a simple question. There's much I wish to do with my life.
You see, I am here as a facilitator. I am here to correct a power imbalance. I am not here to grant you anything, because that is not what I can do. All I can do is make sure that when your soul leaves your body, it goes to serve the grander purpose. So is there someone to whom I could give your soul to serve that grander purpose?
I did not have much faith from where I came. My people worship demons, thus I did not care much for gods, but there's one. I firmly believe she is the one that granted me my freedom to begin with.
She has smiled on you before?
She has. I would not have escaped, I believe, otherwise. Milani.
Then it is in my power to make sure that she will give you her ear.
You have my thanks.
What would you have of her?
Well, from that, I wish.
Meanwhile,
Crossing a bridge.
you guys begin making your way across the bridge. Doesn't seem like there's anyone around on the far side of it, but you're barely halfway across when you hear a dragon-like scream or roar behind you.
Son of a bitch.
A Yamaraj stands atop the buildings near the streets in front of the bridge, and it, after seeing you and seeing you turn to look at it, grins a great toothy smile and begins scrabbling down the side of the building toward you.
How far away is it?
110, 140 feet-ish.
Okay, so it can hear me if I yell at it.
Most likely, yes. It may not actually hear you over the crabbling of its own claws against stone, but theoretically it could hear you.
We've defeated one of your kind already, and we have no quarrel with you. Leave us before we have to destroy another.
I just get my fucking gun out.
I'm making a small power display with my hands, which turns me back into my demonic form.
Well, that's
Pharasma
spooky.
starts running. Pharasma starts running towards the spire.
So I chase after her.
Yeah, if
Uh,
Pharasma's running for the spire, we should keep pace.
All right. What are your best run speeds in straight line so you can run, not just double move?
40 feet for about 6 rounds.
Dude, you mean run is in the actual run action?
Yeah, what's the best speed you could make? So your base movement speed times 3, unless you have the feat run that lets you make that up to times 4.
120 for around 6 rounds.
Okay, if you're wearing medium, light, or no armor and don't have a medium load, you can move at 4 times your speed normally.
Ah, okay.
I believe I'm the only one wearing
Unless you're
heavy.
wearing heavy armor, yeah.
I believe I'm the only one wearing heavy armor.
Yeah, you would be.
Does anyone have a medium load?
No,
I
I'm good.
actually have the run feat because of one of my racial traits.
Then you get to go super fast.
But the other thing is, I don't really need to. I wouldn't run most of the time. I'd just do my moves and then do a blast.
Huh. How much is Active?
I believe you've done it as a 120 foot.
540 feet.
Okay, so a lot.
Yeah, I have my base because of my boot. My base speed is 60.
Garazin, do you have a medium load?
No.
Okay, what's your base move speed?
20, but I can make it 40 with haste boots.
Okay, are you going to do that?
Probably.
Yeah, but what's your run speed?
Okay, what's 40 times 4? 160. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
And Fulton, I believe, can only move 30 feet in any given time unless he also finds some way to buff it, like haste or something, which he isn't going to right now. So, 90 feet.
Okay.
I'm the fastest.
Yes, you are by a wide margin.
So since you are that fast, Avealathel, you turn to go with the others. Since you're able to definitely overshoot the remaining length of the bridge, pardon me. At the far end of it, there are two great double doors that stand 3/4 open, but not 90 degrees, but like 70 or so open. Inside, you can see you lit by the starlight. You can definitely make out there's some kind of a large hall. The doors are a good 30 feet tall and 15 or so wide, and there's some kind of hall on the far side that's at least as tall. But you can't make out much detail about the interior from this far away.
Oh well, in I go. Whee!
Aiming for the back wall or just the doors?
Just the doors.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't really make much of a difference whether I run or use my blast, because my run is still 500.
Right.
The run feat's awesome, and I can keep that up for forever.
All right. So, let's see here. Pharasma's is 30, but she's unencumbered, so she can get 120. So, Fulton, you're the slowest at 90, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is probably for the best anyway, because he can probably tank a hit right now the best out of anyone.
That's right, 60 times 5 is 300, so yeah. So it's either 300 or 540, depending on how I do it.
Alright. Alright, you guys make your best sprint towards the doors. Garazin, you just reach the doors and can see that this is some kind of open entry hall. There's doorways leading off in every direction on 3 stories of balconies around the perimeter of this hall, but there's no one to be seen inside at the moment. Avealathel, you bamf in, just inside the doors yourself. Fulton, you do... Pharasma also makes it right alongside Bombard. Fulton, you're still about 30 feet shy of the doors after one round of running.
Okay.
And the Yamaraj...
Eats your children.
I don't have any children.
is 20 feet behind you.
That just makes it even more puzzling.
You guys, just inside the hallway, what you doing? You have a round of actions.
Close the door, he's a goner.
Turn around.
Sounds
Pull
good to
out
me.
the musket.
No, we're get in. I'm going to.
No, he's in the room.
Okay. I'm going to hopefully get Pharasma and ready in action to close this door once Fulton gets in. think
You
it's going
notice-
to
you
take
notice-
both of us.
The doors, they're double doors. They seem to be made mostly of wood reinforced with bands of iron. Just at
Okay.
cursory inspection.
Yeah, so hopefully the two of us working together can get these closed. Fulton gets in, and that should hold the Amirage back as we do what we're doing. Hopefully.
Alright, you're going to attempt to close the door on your side?
Yep, and I'm going to try to get Pharasma to help. But I don't have control over her actions, so...
She looks at the both of you, comes over to your side of the door. Could I get a strength check from you?
You're doing this once
Okay.
Fulton's inside, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the doors are not going to slam closed instantly. They're getting them moving.
Once Fulton is inside, I have a thing I want to do. Like the second he's in.
My
Are
strength
you
is-
closing the door on your side, or...
Oh no! I'm putting up a stone wall.
Alright,
Basically, I'm gonna stand. I'm standing more or less next to the door frame. As soon as Fulton runs past me, I stomp my foot, and a stone shield's gonna pop up in the entryway.
Okay.
I believe the entryway is bigger than that.
Yeah, but it's like something in the way, so I can't just casually laser beam through it.
Alright, how
It'll
large
provide
is
light
your
cover
stone
to everyone.
shield?
It's a 5 by. I think it's. Hold on, I'll double check. I don't know that big. Yeah, 1 5 foot square. So it's a 5 foot by 5 foot by 5 foot just block.
Hey, the good news is, Avalathel, that I was just making sure that you don't roll a 1.
You were close.
That
rolled a
is
3.
a strictly positive value, so yeah, you're fine. And Pharasma also is fine. Alright, you close one side of the door, leaving only an 8-foot wide gap at the side.
If there's a 20-foot... If I'm 30 feet away, can I run in and then close the other side of the door?
That should be within your move, yeah.
What's your movement speed?
My move is 30, so 30 to get in, and then that was one move action.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Do you want a strength check?
Can you even fail a strength check?
If you roll a 1.
There's a 1 in it.
But 1 plus 7 is 8.
No, that's just displaying wrong. It was 1 plus 7 plus 6.
Which is 23, as we all know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I thought it was 176.
7.
Why are you being consistent? What kind of setting do you think this is?
Well, according to Mutants and Masterminds, 6 5 by 5 cubes is 30-foot cube, so it's 30 cubic feet. So why not?
Alton, you dash in the door. You grab the door in order to bring yourself to a screeching halt, then try and slam it closed behind you. Bombard, you had a ready to action to throw up a stone shield.
I don't have to ready the action. I can just it's an immediate action interrupt thing I can do whenever. So
Yep, but you wanted to do it at a specific time off your turn.
I suppose.
You're
Could
gonna
I
screw us
please-
up there.
Could I please get you to roll an initiative contest with Fulton?
Sure, I guess.
Okay, he's gonna win. Uh-huh.
6! Nice.
Fulton has no initiative. His initiative bonus is +1.
Garazin does not successfully read what Fulton's intending to do in time, and throws up the stone shield, just in time to get in the way of the closing door.
Well, it's only an inch
Avalathel-
thick, so
Avalathel, And for Razma, I need another strength check from you two. And Fulton, one from you as well.
You
as well.
Nat 20.
No strength check. Too busy face palming. Now there you go.
Oh, that one even beat 10.
Slam, slam, slam.
Is the strength bonus of a huge.
What's the carrying capacity of a swallow?
I believe the line is African or European. Really? Only 9? Yeah, only 9. Go figure. Oh, actually, he'll be doing this on a charge, so 11. Alright, let's see here. That's +2... plus... Oh! Goodness me. The Yamaraj slams into the door, and you guys just barely manage to hold it at bay. Thanks possibly to that stone shield that slowed it down a bit, but who knows?
I'm helping.
You have another round of actions.
I put another stone
say
shield this
I'm
time with like sandwiching the door and the wall, so there's
How
more
about,
shit
how
in the
about
way.
how about you check if there's a way to lock the door first?
I'm a dwarf. I use stone. Damn it. Fine. Is there
Bird.
like an obvious lock button or switch or key or
Or bars?
anything really?
The inside of the door does indeed have brackets where a beam could be dropped in order to hold it. However, there does not appear to be any resting beside the doors or in this hall.
And you wanted to take it away from me. I take out the plank of wood I've taken all this fucking distance and slot it right the fuck in and look super fucking smug while doing it.
You take the half-inch thick piece of siding.
Better than nothing. Shut the fuck up.
It's better than nothing by like 1%.
I'll take
It
it.
will take the Yamaraj like maybe
That much longer
a
to get out.
centimeter more of progress to destroy
I
that.
think what it's really doing here is it's going to make it harder to put something else in there that might stop it.
Yes, there you go.
That's cute. When you find something else to stop it, you give me a call. I'm using this.
Back up.
Let's put the drawers in
Rosin-
the slot.
You could break that board on a strength check of 12.
Yeah,
Like-
but it's going to be in a position of,
I mean-
what do you call it?
I'm going to put a grappling negative energy door up, and then we're gonna run.
Still
that's-
locking the door with my piece of
There
wood.
you go. That's a decent idea.
Still gonna put this piece of wood in the slot, then put up a stone shield, and then you do that. So there's many layers between us and it as possible. Then we run.
Congratulations, you've lost your plank of wood.
No, I used it in the most effective manner possible. If it slows them down for so much as one round, that's one round more of us getting the fuck away.
I'm glad we sacrificed that soul for that wood.
Hey, hey, that was his decision.
Good guy.
Delicious soup.
I didn't make him cross the fucking thing. I even told him to go away several times. Fucker didn't listen.
Okay, so yeah, it's just a negative blast, so that doesn't add to it. Grappling is 3. And wall is 3, so that's 6. So I'm gonna have to gather power. And that doesn't cost me anything. So there we go. Grappling
Just-
negative energy wall.
And that's a standard or full action?
Standard for the wall, but I had gather power, so that's my whole round.
Okay.
So there's
Bombard, you slot in the wood and put up another stone shield, this time bracing the doors.
Mhm.
Holton.
Yes.
What do you do?
Well, that's why we start running.
I'm going to escort Pharasma down the hall.
It takes me immediate action to put up these walls. As soon as the thing's slotted, I'm running.
Yeah. moving. Took you a move action to put the board in.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm moving after my turn too.
Yep. So Fulton, this seems to be a sort of great receiving chamber. It's about 80 feet deep, 30 wide. It is tall enough for 3 stories of balconies. Above ground floor, and all 4 levels total have many doors, like at least 6 on each, leading out of it in all directions. There does not seem to be any clear marking on any of these doors, but none of them look like they should lock. They're just there to keep the breeze from blowing randomly through.
Pharasma, this is recognizable.
Sadly, any knowledge I do have to give you here is subjective. The last section of a soul's journey to me is for them to make their final expression of free will, to choose their route to me. I don't know what's behind any of these doors. You'll be determining that.
What happens if multiple people enter the same door?
Then whoever goes first is who dictates the expression beyond.
Alright, everyone. Here we go first in this one. Because we all know what's going to go beyond the other side of that door.
A room full of
Or how
explosives.
about I go first so the room's not filled with explosives?
I'm running a little on ammo, okay? This is an excellent way to solve
Fulton
that.
does not care for deciding who's going through what door. He's going to find a door and keep moving because it's a Yamirage chasing them.
Good point.
Yeah, I'm rushing through the door since I'm the fastest.
Not move until next turn.
I'm just going to the sliding door.
I didn't realize we were still in the same round.
Yep. The Fulton hadn't done anything to brace the doors yet. You two had done that. So he has a full round to decide and to take first action.
Fulton is going to take the door farthest on the right.
Right, you grab Pharasma's wrist and run to that door. You open it. Seems like there's a light on the far side. And are the others following?
I say we both rush through separate doors just to split the party and piss the GM off.
I'm following Fulton. Does that sound good? That sounds good.
Alright. You bolt through that door, and you hear the great double doors crack open and begin to split as the Yamirage pushes through, just as you slam the door shut behind you. Suddenly you can hear nothing of the chamber behind.
Oh, thanks for locking me out, guys.
Behind all of you.
I never said I was going through that door. You just locked me out.
Are you going through the last door on the right? On the ground floor?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just giving you a hard
Thank you for
time.
that massive waste of time. Just fuck you.
I will be back in just a minute.
Just giving him a hard time.
Oh, look, you actually
What I
drove
do.
off the GM.
People never met me before. I don't drive. This room better be filled with milk and honey.
Well, Fulton within, so it's going to be very chaste praying and a great deal of really boring hymns.
Or it's just
Okay.
an endless supply of people for him to murder because they're evil.
Sure.
You understand where Fulton actually comes from, right?
Orcish.
Orc vaginas, yes.
Yeah. Gonna say orc vagina.
Actually, it's more likely a human because orcs tend to do that to, yeah.
It could be
orcs
either
are
way,
too,
I
I
mean.
guess.
Well, okay, it's usually an orc raping a woman. Let's just be honest here, okay? It's,
No,
that's-
100% right.
That
It's
is the stereotypical thing, yes.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I just thought he didn't do the stereotypical.
Actually, I don't
I'm
know.
not sure about Fulton's specific backstory, but 9 times out of 10, if you see a half orc, that's how it happened.
Yes, I do not clarify anything about like that in his backstory. I mean, where he's lived most of his life.
in a, like, under a rock?
No, he's lived in Last Wall, if any of you know that.
He lived in Fraggle Rock?
Yes.
Nice.
Do any of you know what Last Wall is?
And then he moved to Fern Gully. No, I don't.
Nope.
Was he granted the gift of fairy size?
What?
Well, keep making
No,
references until you
they
tell us what
kicked
the
him
fuck
out.
Last Fall is. Because we don't know.
Oh boy, do you know who the Whispering Tyrant is?
Not really, no.
That would be me.
No, we can hear you too well.
Have you heard of the Shining Crusade?
I've heard of The
No.
Shining.
Why do you... Why
Oh, in that case, it would
you
be-
keep giving, like, these things we don't know to, like, clarify something we don't already know.
Their
Just-
history of the Pathfinder setting. I assumed you know at least some of them.
No, none of it.
I grew up in a cave.
Tayo, you know Last Wall,
Oh,
right?
the Whispering Tyrant then is Hades from Once Upon a Time.
Haha.
Even if this is a Pathfinder history thing, we're not on the continent all that stuff is on.
I know.
Yeah,
but
also,
we're in the
I am
same
not-
world.
I am not encyclopedically familiar with the with the general Galarian setting. Everything I do know is picked up in small fragments,
I just
Shining
know what the
Crusade,
wikis told
Whispering
me, like,
Tyrant.
Numeria is full of robots.
and I'm afraid those two nouns do go over my head.
Okay, my point is, the Shining Crusade was a big war that ended in killing a big badass lich, who was the Whispering Tyrant, and Last Wall was founded to look over where he was defeated, so he could never come back, and that's where Fulton's lived for basically most of his life.
So you're saying
Ministerius, got it.
he loves undead.
So, if it makes anything
His
based
first
off of
girlfriend
his
was a
hope,
zombie.
it's not going to be chased praying like Grazin might think.
So it's going to be very unchaste praying?
They pray with their penis.
But that was the implied message, yes.
You haven't met Brad, have you?
We're in good form
I
today.
I strip the subtlety out of everything. Haven't I ever told you my rendition of Juliet's speech done the way I'd do it?
Oh God.
Let's screw.
Romeo. I'd bang him.
That's about right.
Yeah, it
pretty
really
correct.
is.
Lot
Of
of
course,
words
then
that
it
pretty
gets
much say
way more
that.
disturbing when you know she's like 13.
Well, for the
Yeah,
era,
well,
that's
so was
actually
he.
not disturbing.
What'd you say, Sam?
Yeah, well, probably so was he, give or take 3.
Yeah,
They're both
he was
like-
actually like 4 years older at the very least.
Yeah,
Sounds
they're-
smart.
They're both in their teens. The really disturbing one is Paris, who was 40. That was normal back then.
Yeah.
So,
Be mine, I give you to my friend.
good. So,
Don't look at me. Shakespeare wrote it.
you find yourselves on the far side of that door, and quite suddenly you cannot hear anything of the Yamaraj tearing its way through the door just beyond. You all take a moment to look around where you are, and it's this place is shrouded in mist. You can't see very far. Maybe 10, 15 feet before everything just becomes hazy gray. Light shines in through some source about 30 degrees off the ground, maybe, away from the door, and you can hear footsteps dampened, going back and forth. Place reverbs a bit like you're indoors.
Swear to the stone, Fulton, if your dad comes walking out there and tosses you a football and says, "Hey son, let's go play a game," I am shooting someone. And it might be your dad. I'm sorry.
Fulton has no daddy issues.
I know, I'm just saying. Father figure counts too.
Someone's going to ask, what's a football?
Dwarven sport.
What's a dwarf?
Stone Lord.
What's a paladin?
I'm not
Miserable
entirely
pile
sure.
of secrets?
You're all imbeciles. I'm gonna walk forward towards whatever it is.
Yes, moving.
I'm
You're also-
staying cautious at the rear.
Okay. Geralzin, you lead the way forward and immediately walk hips first into a pew.
Ew.
Ow.
Oh, a pew. Never mind.
Why is there a... Why? What's this doing here? Fuck it, go around.
You go around and you see, and you realize you're going down an aisle. There are church pews on either side of you in rows.
I knew it!
They're
I
oriented.
fucking called it!
They're oriented so that you're walking towards the front of a church of some description.
Halton,
And
are
the,
we here? Please tell me
the-
we're not where I think we are.
The footsteps, and now you can hear some mumbling, some whispering up ahead.
Halton, by all that is holy, by the stone and the anvil of which my people were forged, do not tell me we're at your wedding.
Well, that's why you're there.
Fuck!
Oh, it's awful.
Is that get a literal shotgun wedding if I don't know.
It isn't
Oh,
a shotgun
shotgun.
wedding if the groom is holding it.
Now, Garazin's marrying his shotgun.
Hmm.
So that'd be Garazin's door.
Yeah, that'd be my door. Maybe Fulton's married. Are you all jealous of my shotgun? Are you trying to marry it? What's going on here? Let's keep walking and see if this mist clears up anymore.
That's what you get.
I keep walking and see if the list clears up anymore. They totes are.
As you make your way further towards the front of this of this misty church, the muttering and talking you can hear clearly resolves into prayer, and Fulton realizes that they are prayers to Iomade, just as the altar itself becomes visible out of the mist. There's something wrong with it, though. Most altars to Iomade, they have, this little nice metalwork sculpture that serves as their holy icon, and they have some form of illumination. Not always candles, something to illuminate, but in this case, the illumination seems to come from a pair of burning humanoid bodies that lay upon that altar. The priests walking back and forth across the front have their hoods pulled very low, and they do not seem to notice or care that you are here. They
Is it too late for
pray
me to go to my
constantly.
own door? This place is awful.
Fulton's going right up to the altar because that's not right.
I follow him.
You approach the altar.
I'm with Fulton.
The two bodies upon the altar seem to be burning in slow motion. Everything is much more still than such a scene would be in real life.
Okay.
The bodies, are they...
So, in your world, you make candles out of people. It all makes sense.
Are they
No.
recognizable? Are they human? I mean...
You cannot tell through the heat and the smoke. Not so long as they continue to burn.
Everything's moving slowly. Is there actual heat coming off of them?
Yes, but no, it's not too hot to keep you from approaching right up. These are not bonfires; they're burning people.
Yeah,
They don't
but if
put
you
off that
touch
much
it,
heat.
it will burn.
Oh yes.
So they're praying to burning folk. Odd, but alright.
So
I
is
guess
this
they're
this
just really
realm's
into indie music.
this realm's version of Burning Man? Yeah.
This is not right, Gurazon. Unless it is a funeral.
Well, I'm assuming they're not sacrificing this lot to whatever, so... How
I
do you
will
get out of
spend
this
gold on
room?
drugs if you want.
Actually, is it a funeral?
If
Oh,
it
who's wearing
were,
black?
this would be a properly erected pyre outdoors.
Yeah, it's
Definitely not on the surface of the altar.
Yeah, it's it being on the altar. Very not right.
Take them off if you care so much. I don't even know if this stuff is real. I'm almost looking for an exit at this stage.
Yeah, and to blast it,
No.
I'll blast it.
No.
Just a little bit.
No.
Alright, well, as interesting as that is, I'm gonna go around it.
The priests, or
Yep.
whatever you want to call them, praying.
Yep.
Are they just standard prayers to Iomade?
As far as you can hear, they're bog standard prayers. In particular, they're just thanking Iomade for her. They're prayers of thanks. They're not ritual of any sort.
Hmm.
And the priests just keep walking back and forth in the church designed terminology that I don't know. That's that aisle that goes from left to right in front of the last row of pews, but before the altar. I know
Yes,
there's a name
I
for
don't
it,
know
but
if
I
there's a
don't.
word for it.
Okay, I'm going to use basic hydrokinesis and create water above the burning dudes to try to put them out.
If I have any indication of what she's doing, I'll probably try to stop her, but I'm not assuming that I will.
I'm not 100% certain that you would. Would what you're doing? It's still arcane equivalent, right? Like
Yes,
psionics are.
Yeah, that would be the rule. Like psionics, it's either its own thing or its arcane equivalent. So, for simplicity, yeah.
So yes, Fulton, you may realize what she's about to do if you can pass the spellcraft check for it.
It's a cantrip.
You pass.
Don't do that.
But I'm putting them out.
I don't know if we should.
Well, I'm going around. I'm gonna try to find an exit. Just gonna look around for an exit. I'll roll perception if you need.
You start wandering around the perimeter.
Okay. Fulton will approach one of the priests.
As you step before him, he stops and looks up at you, and you can see that his face is horribly burnt. His eyes are whitened over, and his hair is all in patches. And he looks. Once you see through the injuries, though, he looks like one of the priests who inducted you into the faith. He does not seem to recognize you, but he does not seem to recognize you in particular or anything, and simply says, "We give thanks that you were brought to us," and goes back to his prayers.
They're giving thanks that I was brought? Going back to the bodies really quick.
Yep.
Are they... How large are they, in general?
Big.
Like, for example, Fulton and Garazin are both medium creatures, but you would not say that they're equivalent in size.
Yeah, they're closer to your size than to Garazin's.
The dwarves are medium wide.
One of them might be a touch taller than you.
And the other is shorter?
Yeah.
Hmm. Let's check in on Garazin and see if he's found a way out.
Have I?
Garazin, you found no doors except the one which you came in by.
Is there a organ?
There is not.
Not even a piano?
No.
What kind of shitty church is this?
One to
The
Ioma,
organ is a still
who do
beating
not
heart
use
laying on
pipe
the
instruments.
Is there drums then, or flutes, or whatever the goodness she prefers? That would be the
Good
neutral
idea.
god of war. I forget his name.
As near as I can tell, followers of Iomade give devotion with only their voices.
There's no specific
So
instrument
their
now.
choir then?
There
Good
is a
idea.
box
We'll play the
for-
prelude to light and work back to the temple.
There is a box for a choir, but it is unoccupied.
Not anymore. It's not.
You know, technically speaking, as a priest of Iomade, cleric, Fulton might have been taught to try and sing in the choir at one point.
God help us.
That's probably about the right response, because you'll notice he does not have any ranks in perform singing.
Yeah, I'm getting up there. I'm gonna start singing if you're not. So come on, guy. If this room is not just gonna tell us how to get out of here, I'm going to torture it to death with singing. I don't know any hymns to Inomine, but I'm gonna try.
There once was a man from Nantucket.
Pretty much. That, or there was an old farmer who lived on a track or something.
It was purely coincidental that Fulton threw the holy fire.
Well, the pew is now occupied by me, and you guys have, I don't know, another round before I start singing.
Fulton will go back to the bodies and to Veolothal, and you can try to put them out now.
Okay. Basic hydrokinesis allows me to create up to... it works as the cantrip create water. I can create 2 gallons of water per level.
Okay. Or caster level?
I'm level 19.
Okay. There is a great splash as water forms above the altar and washes away the fire. And the bodies, though they were burning, are not particularly burned. They are recognizable. And Fulton, you can clearly see that they are your parents.
I thought you said you didn't have daddy issues.
I'm going to assume this is a deal where Fulton somehow knows they're his parents, even though he doesn't actually remember his parents.
Correct. You know right down to the core of your being who these people are.
Fulton's going to look at Pharasma.
I would like to say that Pharasma is busy strangling Garazan. However, in all
No. She's busy here trying to join me. Oh, no, I'm going to teach her one of the favorite dwarven drinking songs.
Oh, gosh.
99 bottles appear on the wall.
In all actual
appear.
fact, she is trying to be very small and not noticed over in a corner of the church.
Well, you're all out of time.
The famous dwarven drinking song, I shaved my wife's beard and now she's a gnome.
Oh, God.
Yeah, buggered. Well, I got an 8.
Suddenly, an atonal but not entirely inept voice starts ringing out with a... What are you singing?
Let's go with this.
God, no.
And Dwarvish, naturally, because it doesn't translate very well.
I shaved my wife's beard and now she's a gnome.
Oh, God, not this.
Yeah. It's a really good drinking song. It's especially funny when you're really sloshed and can't do it right.
For the stream, this may as well be a Miss Muffet drinking song. Just FYI.
Yeah, Fulton's gonna look at Avealothel and then point at the dwarf.
What do you want me to do? What you want me to?
Stop him.
Right, one ray of destruction coming up.
Okay, I'm going to get a grappling wall infusion. How you want me to stop?
Avealothel and Garazan begin scuffling in details unspecified over at one side.
I just shrug, go in, and start singing with them.
Nice.
Of course,
Alright, I'm gonna try and
the
translate
song's
to
in
Elvish, so
Dwarven,
try
and
and
I
keep
don't
up.
know it, so I'm just trying to sing it phonetically.
I don't know, I can take it in Elvish, but it might sound weird. I don't know how your insults translate, so we'll try, but let's see if it works. And then I'd give another tune in Elvish, so basically I have to re-roll. And then it again.
Let's see, what's my untrained perform? It's exactly 10.
Fulton's gonna do his best to ignore them and continue looking at the bodies of his parents, trying to figure out what it is that this room is trying to tell him.
Kill your parents. Kill your parents. That's what you're
Trying to tell him that he had parents.
You know, judging by the lifespan on average in, the realm of Pathfinder, they're probably already dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're trying to tell you that you share Barg's parents.
It's not impossible, but you better hope not. So you sound considerably better, and you helped me translate a lot of the words, and we mostly just sound like dying cats.
I'm actually apparently a decent singer.
Yeah, but you're trying to go off me translating a Dwarven song into Elvish, so it's coming out funny.
If we go off this metaphorically, there's the bodies of his parents burning on the altar of his religion.
Yes.
I'm going to stop screwing up and actually sing a funeral dirge of Salune.
I go to adventure, I guess, if you're going metaphorically, it could say you're destroying your parents with your religion or something, or destroying what they stood for, kind of thing. Like your obsession is killing them, I guess? I don't know.
I mean, the clearest line to be drawn is that they're a sacrifice to his religion.
Sure, that. Yeah, look, I actually did okay with this dirge.
Oh, in this night of boundless black.
Give Ian a minute to think this through. Pretty please.
I mean, for right now, if nothing else,
Star Trek reference.
Fulton may never have known his parents, but they were still his parents, so he'll kind of bow his head and start speaking whatever funeral prayers he can remember.
The priests around you change which prayer they were recanting from the one of giving thanks to the same funeral prayer that you're making. And slowly they begin fading away, disappearing completely just as you finish the prayer. When you look up again, the bodies are gone and the altar is clean.
Well, alright then, now what?
I have a feeling this might make more sense in the future.
Or maybe it won't. That's the afterlife for you.
I'm going to take a look around the room to see what else has changed. Not moving from that spot, though.
Well, you'll need to move a bit because you can't see that far through the mist.
Right.
Nothing else seems to have changed about the place. You no longer hear the priest's footsteps and prayers, and they faded away, but everything else about this church seems unchanged. The only door to be seen anywhere is the one you came in.
Maybe you're supposed to go back out through the one we came in from.
Sure, why not?
And that's when we get attacked by a Yamarash.
Fulton's going to go look at the altar again. It's still missing what it normally is there as a I'm not sure what the right word is, as a sort of idol, wasn't it?
Yes.
Take its place. Ascend.
I don't think Fulton has really any real aspirations to godhood. Not the least of which because it would be blasphemy of the highest order.
So this is when Lindahl
So
shows
saying
up.
we should all become gods? 3 people have done it. That means it can be done.
Oh,
Actually, even though Fulton has his holy symbol tattooed onto him and his sword is a reliquary item, he still has a holy symbol.
Yes.
I don't quite remember if it's a wooden or a silver one or otherwise.
why does it matter?
It doesn't particularly. I just don't remember which bothers me.
Well, one could fight off werewolves.
This is true.
You take out your small icon of the crossed sword and sun.
If the altar is missing a focus to pray to, then he'll use that as a replacement.
It does have the holy icon, a nice big 4-foot stone one adorned with metal. What it lacks at the moment is anything to burn in prayer.
Okay.
Often many other religions would use candles. Iomade sometimes uses bare torches. Simplicity, preferably.
Use Grazin's beard.
Practicality.
Yes.
Stop Gorazin's beard and use that. I second that.
Uh-huh. It's got enough gunpowder in it, it'll go up instantly.
Fuck off.
But it would.
Deny me that, though. Come on.
I am
You
denying
can
that.
burn my bedroll if you want. That's all I have on me.
No, give me just a moment.
I'm wondering kind of low on gunpowder, fellas. I don't want to waste
I
it.
roll in my outfit. I could walk around naked except for my armor if I wanted. Burn my outfit.
Yes, Fulton is actually carrying candles.
Excellent.
So let's take a standard number, let's say 4 of them.
As
And
an
get those
aside, I
set
can't
up on
believe
the
all
altar.
these checkpoints we went through didn't care that I'm smuggling a devil around in my necklace.
Don't say that where Fulton can hear it in language you will understand it.
I have the Sanguine Talisman. That's why I have a profane bonus to AC.
But yeah, Fulton has candles.
Okay.
So let's set up 4 of them on the altar.
You would have flint in your kit as well.
Yes. Anyone who does not have flint and steel at 19th level is doing something wrong.
I
Yeah.
don't have
You set out 4 candles, arrange them the way you were taught. And the altar does look the better for it.
Is there anything else missing in here? Is there anything else immediately noticeable about the altar?
After you've restored some dignity to the altar, as you look up from your task, you notice that there is a door you did not previously see on the wall behind the altar.
Yeah, look at that. I march for it.
Fulton will nod and wait for Pharasma to join them again before moving onward.
Yep, once everyone's in a conga line, I'll open the door and march on in.
Conga, conga, conga.
Conga, conga, conga.
Pharasma forms up with the rest of you, keeping silent to herself. Rosin opens the door, and you all step through. When the door is shut behind you, you'd notice that you're all in a very dark place. I believe all 3 of you have dark vision, yes?
I know I do.
Fulton
kind of
does.
Dark vision.
Oh yeah, I have the See in Dark Monster ability.
Okay. And Pharasma seems unperturbed by how pitch black it is. And as your visions all communally adjust, you're in some kind of working cave tunnel, like a mine shaft.
Mine.
Fulton will turn to stare at Grozin.
What?
You opened the door.
And what did you expect? Come on, keep moving.
Does this mean I have to open the next door?
No, I'm gonna open the next door just to see what happens.
You begin proceeding forward.
Yep, I'm just gonna keep going.
You come a short ways
Supposed to go around.
before the tunnel opens to a very gently sloped spiral ramp that seems to up a open shaft that seems to go up and down to more mining tunnels spreading out radially from it. The shaft is not empty, however. There is a wooden metal frame that probably some kind of minecart elevator would fit in. You cannot see the top nor bottom of the shaft from this landing.
Oh, there's only one thing to do. Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to work I go. You start singing that straight up and starts, marching down.
Do you want to get wireframe sued by Disney?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's when Disney's lawyers show up in-game.
Shut up, Gordon. That's our song.
They showed up in an episode of The Simpsons. They're very persistent.
So, was that up or down?
Down, I'm a dwarf.
You begin leading the others downslope, possibly to some slight protestations from those who prefer the open air.
And those who like their ears intact as I sing.
After a few moments, you've only got a couple landings downwards. You hear a sort of rumbling up above, and then voices approaching, and metal on metal squealing. And a minecart elevator, full of workers, suddenly plunges past you, them screaming as it drops in freefall into the shaft far below you. After they disappear from view, several seconds pass before you hear a great crashing and shattering far below.
Eesh, that went wrong. I checked the nearby chains and mechanisms just to be sure it wasn't anything on next to us. There's probably something much further along, but yeah, never hurts to look.
That elevator box plunged past with nothing supporting it.
Can I tell from just where I am that like the chain is missing or something?
You saw no chain supporting it.
Oh, so just some idiot put like a...
Well, possibly
dwarves
it
do
broke
not
or
have
something.
ocean.
But not on this level. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna keep going down.
Completely unperturbed, Grozin continues leading you down slope.
I can't fix it, so moving on.
Those poor people.
Too bad I can't resurrect people. Kind of just looks at Fulton.
Dwarves aren't people.
Wow.
We're in the land of the dead, in a place likely constructed to teach you something.
I learned that some idiot didn't fix the elevator right.
You reach the
Fly up there
bottom.
and learn it was him.
I do better work than that. I'm a proper dwarf.
You reach the bottom of the shaft, and there's disarray. It's a large quarry chamber here. Just junk rock is poured out wherever there's a space. Possibly there was once ore down here, or maybe an underground lake, and now it's simply used for offloading undesired. Starts with an S. Not slag, but
Slate?
Slaves?
no. Undesired.
Just undesired, impure ores and all that.
Well, undesired rock. Yeah.
Fair enough.
And the elevator that plunged past you is broken across the ground. The pieces of the elevator itself scattered everywhere. A minecart shorn in two by the elevator dropping upon it, and bodies all over in the pile.
Rough. Any of these fixable, Fulton?
Those that are not crushed seem to be severed in many places.
Well, that's... Well, better return to the stone. I'll get my shovel out. The good thing is there's plenty of loose rock around, so it won't take too much digging. It'll be temporary till their friends get down here.
Do you have a shovel?
Crash,
Yeah, I do.
their friends are down there.
Damn! Yeah, I'm gonna take whatever type I need to just, I don't know, respectfully put them in a corner and bury them in a
There's
decent
like,
covering of stone.
from the number of heads, you think there's something like 40 here.
Well, we're not going anywhere, so yeah.
Do you ask your friends to help respectfully bury the dead?
If you want to carry a rock and help me move bodies, you're welcome to. Just mind the beards.
I'm
Try and
not
keep 'em
very
straight.
strong.
Fulton
Don't need
will
to be.
carry rocks.
You begin moving earth and moving stone in order to make a space where you might assemble some cairn. And
That'll be a temporary measure. This isn't permanent in any stretch of the margin. If this many
Well,
dwarves came falling down, their friends are on the way. This is merely a nice gesture.
I'll use my blast to blast holes in the ground we can throw them in.
No.
no one seems to be coming. There's no sounds from above.
That's weird. Why'd they take the elevator if this is an abandoned shaft? And why this many on top of that? None of this makes any solid sense.
It's possible that shaft is used only on a large section high above, not down here in what appears to be an unused mine shaft.
They'd still come scrambling down here to see what the damage was. Because it could have damaged stuff on the lower levels that affects the upper levels. None of these idiots know engineering. Well, clearly they don't if they took this thing.
As you begin moving some of the bodies to arrange them for burial, you hear a soft sound somewhere among the pile.
Go try and pinpoint that.
It's a kitten.
It takes you a minute, but you eventually move a body aside and find a small, swaddled figure still tied to the chest of its dead mother.
Alright, I'd see if I can get the youngling out without any damages.
No, if Star Wars taught me anything, it's that as the good guy, you should murder this youngling.
Star Wars didn't teach you many things, did it? Right then, so I'm gonna see if I can, get the baby off the dead body without hurting the baby, I guess. I don't know how
Sure,
this one.
that's how you know Anakin's the good guy.
You untie the sling, and you see that the child has the child seems to have a broken arm, but was otherwise protected by the bodies that it fell upon.
Fulton, need your healing magic, like now.
Fulton
make sure
will
the babe
approach.
is comfortable. Best I
He
can.
puts too much positive energy into the baby.
Well, he only needs like a literal 0-level cure minor should do it.
The baby explodes.
Yeah.
Fulton will attempt a non-trained heal check just to see how hurt the baby might be.
The dwarven baby seems to be fine, other than the broken arm. It's broken just above the elbow.
Do you mind doing whatever it is you do to fix that?
Yes. Yes, one moment. Considering it's a baby.
I'm
Generation
gonna
work,
pump 2
right?
full heals into it.
No. If you guys are on the alley map, you can heal yourselves a little bit, too.
I didn't actually mean to do that, but alright.
That'll
I'll do
do.
the same thing.
How's the babe look after that?
Oh, missed something in my notes. It was an external break just above the elbow.
Eesh. Something not pretty.
Not
that-
pretty, no.
Yeah, that means you have to push the bone back in before you cast the healing, or it'll heal like that.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I'm doing.
It does not take much strength to set a baby's
A baby
bones.
bone, yeah.
Rosin, you pull the bone straight despite the child's protests, and the healing is applied and feels intact, and the child begins burbling slightly.
Alright, well.
For more of healing somebody's insides on their outsides, go see section 100.
There should not be a dwarven child with the mother in any proper dwarven cabin of any kind. I don't care how desperate the mother is, they don't bring children into a mine shaft. Not this young, anyway.
I'm guessing somebody piled them in here and then pushed it over the side.
The entire elevator.
Yeah, there wasn't a cable connecting it, remember?
Well,
So, like-
possibly because it broke at the connection point on top of the elevator.
So either someone deliberately cut the thing to kill a whole bunch of dwarves, who I'm going to then shoot in the face, or this was an accident, and it's the fault of he who rules here, who I'm going to shoot in the face. Or at least
You
in the-
finally
You're gonna
begin
shoot
to
the-
hear
you're
some
gonna shoot
commotion.
the dead dwarves in the face? I thought we were going to respectfully bury them.
I think
Finally
it's the
begin
guys
to
here
hear
fault.
some commotion from above, and three.
Ninjas?
I guess the most appropriate term is mine rangers. The people who clear monsters out of tunnels before the miners can move in.
Yeah, rangers. Just straight up rangers.
3 rangers come hustling down and see that you guys have come to the aid of the bodies, and they rush over to Garazin.
Well, this one was found amongst her, and I point out to the Pacific body. Why? Like, why was she carrying, and why did this happen? I have a lot of questions.
They are visiting the mountain home. People from surface villages who wish to visit their elders in the mountain home.
That's good. Why are they all dead?
We don't know. The elevator fell.
Bring
Must
me
have been
to where
under-maintained.
it failed. Also, do you have an orphanage, or does this little one have family? I don't recognize the braids on the mother.
We shall see that the child is given to their closest relatives.
That's what I was asking.
On topic question. Do dwarf babies have beards?
Not generally, no.
No. Also, Grozin,
Hmm.
you did not check the braids on the mother.
Oh, well, I can go check her.
That's why he didn't recognize them. It all makes sense.
Yes.
Well, I didn't want to have to.
Yes, you don't recognize what you don't look at.
Fine, I'll go check it, but like 9,000% sure I'm not going to recognize it.
I'm
Okay.
not.
It's your mommy.
Oh, that doesn't make any damn sense, and you know it. Speaking of, I am going to go check the braids of the woman just in case. I can at least tell what her position in society was. They are surface dwarves, so that might not be any good. Oh well.
All of these dwarves in this pile are of your clan.
There. Like, gravel grit?
Yeah.
Every single one.
All of them.
What? Wait, what?
One of the rangers takes the child from you.
Is the ranger also a gravel grit?
No.
This ain't possible. I don't have a family. Well, I do, but it'd have to be from like all over the Sodine realm.
And the ranger takes the child and begins cleaning off its face of the dust from the crash. They begin the three of them and the child fade out of view.
Or it... I gotta scratch my head furiously.
You raise your arm to scratch your head.
I whisper into Fulton's ear. If we half wait for him to get epiphany, we stuck.
You raise your arm to scratch your head. And Fulton stops your arm and points at the scar above your elbow.
I don't... That makes literally no sense.
I knew we should have stabbed that baby.
Shut up. No, this makes literally no sense. I did not just save my own baby self's life.
Primary question. Did Garazan have a scar there before?
Yes.
Okay.
Then who saved my baby self's life? Because it wasn't myself, because... No!
Somebody hasn't seen
Well,
Avalon
it's not
Part
like
2.
Fulton.
Go watch it.
It's not like Fulton extinguished the burning bodies of his parents in some church somewhere.
My head hurts.
Hey, go watch Avalon Part 2.
I'm gonna finish burying all the relatives that are already
Archmage
dead that I don't know about, that apparently
died.
died when I was a kid, and move on with my existence.
Okay, so we're gonna finish burying all the gravel grits.
Yes. Including my mother, apparently, so excuse me while I go figure that the fuck out.
Why don't I just collapse this mine shaft on them?
Because I will shoot you.
It would be faster.
So would your death. Now shut up and pick up a pick, or don't.
It takes you a few hours to finish burying those who died in the mineshaft accident.
I blast man-sized holes in the ground so we can put them in them.
He's quite serious. He will shoot you if you disrespect the stone like that. This is not a good time to be pissing Gorazan off.
It's faster than using a shovel.
And completely disrespectful to the earth.
More disrespectful than using a shovel.
Yes.
A shovel
actually.
is using your own strength to change the earth, which is kind of what dwarves are all about.
Physical things, not your weird outside space voodoo doo-doo you made up.
This is my strength.
Not the way that I think of it. Fine, it is your strength, then don't use your strength to do this.
Vault, on the other hand, can totally respect this idea and is kind of just moving things with his hands.
It takes you an extra hour to do without Avelathel's help after you tell her off.
That's fine. I kind of giving Pharasma a look.
Pick up one of the skulls, start moving earth with it.
Pharasma is trying to not be in the way throughout all of this.
Grumble when I'm finished. I just sort of sigh at the sheer number of relatives I will never ever know.
Never did.
Well, this isn't depressing or anything. Thanks for this. It's nice to know I'll be going to my death depressed. I kick a rock. Stomp towards, in a circle, basically, hoping the exit appears.
Maybe this was my heaven. My character didn't say that.
Yeah. By the time you finished, you notice that there does seem to be another mine shaft leading off away from this quarry, one that you didn't notice before.
I marched down it without saying anything further.
At the end of it is a door.
I fling it open without consulting anyone and just march through it.
You grab the handle, and it does not budge.
Fine, whatever. It's your turn to get the suffering of eternities. Enjoy whatever it is that twists your head in your circle.
That's fine. I didn't exist more than 2 weeks ago, so. Okay, sorry. I opened the door. Not a joke, sorry.
Yep. You open the door and usher everyone through. Once you close the door, you find yourself in some kind of ship's cabin. It's a little familiar, but you can't place it.
Ah, aboard a ship again. Well, let's look around. Wonder
You
what
look
kind
around-
of ship
you
this
look
is. Is there a porthole?
Pardon me?
I wonder what kind of ship this is. Is there a porthole?
There are some windows at the back of it, covered with heavy draw cloth. Very heavy curtains, in fact, the kind you might use to deliberately black out the windows for some reason. And you're just going about and investigating, when suddenly the whole ship is shaked by the sound of cannon fire.
Well, that doesn't seem good.
The door you came in is positioned almost as though to be a closet door of this cabin. There's also a door out onto the if this is the officer's cabin at the back, then that's probably through to the gun deck, or possibly a stair up onto the main deck.
I'm going to take a peek out the window first.
You push the cloth aside, and you see that you are that you are on a you are definitely on some kind of spelljammer, because there is a void out there.
Ooh, we're in void space somewhere. Well, let's go see what we're firing at, guys. This is what I live for.
Alright.
Fulton will tilt his head at the language he does not understand and follow them if they go.
You open the door and find yourself on a gun deck that is in complete disarray. It seems some shells have come through the hull on one side and scattered several cannon and many crew, all of whom elven like yourself. There are some guns yet still returning fires off to the port, but it looks like half of the port guns have been scattered across the deck in ruin. Another shot comes through the hull and straight out the starboard side as you watch.
Holy crap. Can I identify the ship that's firing on us?
You make your way over to the gaping hole in the side, and it appears that you've that your ship has pulled alongside, or they've pulled alongside you. On a parallel course in same direction appears to be some illithid raiders.
Why are octopus people attacking us?
Crap, mind flayers. The mind flayers. They're bad.
Their ship, though horrible in shape, nevertheless does fly a clearly recognizable pirate flag on both upper and lower standards.
Are any of this crew alive?
There are still men manning the guns here and attempting to return fire, although they're busy at their jobs of loading, powdering, stuffing, aiming, firing.
Okay, how are they coming over?
Pardon? Beg pardon?
In what way are they coming over? Is there a plank or?
Oh no, they're pulled alongside, firing into your ship from perhaps 4 ship lengths away off the port.
Put me on your cannons and I'll have their ships sunk in about a shot or 2.
Fulton knows nothing about firing guns, so Fulton is going to pull any man who's wounded but alive out of the range where, they will die immediately.
Okay, well, I can't find the captain, so I'm taking command. Stone Lord, onto the cannons.
Alright. You gotta really start shouting for an Elvish for those who are on the thing to just obey the fucking me.
And I am going to start picking off raiders with blasts.
You begin supplementing the cannon fire, trying to pick off.
Basically, whenever I shoot one of these things, if it's if I can use Grape Shot, I'm using it because it gets my bonus to damage at plus 13 or whatever.
They're firing.
Sails.
They're firing only solid shells from this side.
Do they have any Grape Shot?
They do.
The kinds of ships that this ship fights don't traditionally have sails.
Yes, you notice that
but Grape Shot's great for clearing decks, like for troops. But
there are no open decks on the other side.
Yeah, Illithids are the main enemies, and they don't design their ships like that. So,
yeah, to your guys' eyes, that's not a ship over there. That is some kind of tentacle-covered beetle, which has perhaps 20 guns pointing out of its sides and in your direction.
Neat. That's horrifying, but if it has guns, I know what to do. We need to aim for where their guns are, disable its ability to shoot back.
Yep. You begin using your gunnery expertise to bolster that of the others. Fulton begins working triage to on those men who are too injured to return fire.
I'm going to make my way to the wheel and assume piloting the ship if nobody's doing it.
If you you recognize the design of the ship. It was common to your navy, a small clipper, perhaps 16 guns total. So you are badly outgunned, even in peak condition, by that Illithid over yon. You make your way up a deck to the. It's not an exposed surface deck, but it apes that of a wet navy's surface deck. And Pardon?
Sorry, go ahead.
And find that the poop deck is manned, and there is someone at the helm, although the ship is not making any kind of evasive maneuvers at the moment. He looks like he's struggling to keep the ship going as it is.
Okay, so that's the problem. Is this ship isn't going to be able to fight back. We need to break free and get the hell away from here. Unfortunately, I think it seems that ship's gravity is probably pulling us in.
I can disable its
slightly
cannons
closer
and get
now
aboard
than
and do
you
it
were.
myself.
But that may just be from maneuvering. There are other officers on the deck, but well, you're still in your officer's clothes that you've been in since you crash landed here.
Great, from one mind flayer fight to another. Just never get a rest. Okay, so anybody here fill me in?
They came across us suddenly. They seem to have been simply making camp here. We were expecting this flow to be straight and true, but apparently there are vortices at the edges, and we're caught in one. We cannot get away in the slow flow.
Son of a crap. They just were to hit us, didn't they?
They were waiting in ambush, aye.
Okay, we're going. Stop trying evasive maneuvers. We're just gonna move the ship straight up as fast as we can.
I should like to try, but we think perhaps the rudder, the ship is too damaged. We have no directionality.
Did they hit the helm?
The first shot came through this deck. Perhaps it is damaged.
Okay, do we have any other spellcasters on board other than the guy piloting?
The man looks helplessly at you, and then points at the hole that comes in on the port side of the helm, and out on the starboard.
Okay, crap.
And the blood splattered across the deck.
Okay, we're gonna need the cleric I came with. Somebody go get him. He's a half slug.
A man is dispatched below decks.
I don't think he's that slow to call him a slug. I mean, really.
Hey, it's not my fault that he's sexless and doesn't have a shell.
I think all that metal counts as a shell.
Magic
true.
user! We seek the one who uses magic. Where are you?
Ain't me. Points elsewhere.
Fulton will stand up from where he's looking at the moment.
To me! And he rushes back to the upper deck.
To him!
You see Avelathel there, standing beside some distraught-looking elven men in uniform who are all trying to duck down and stay get not too close to the great gaping hole in the hull, where you can that seems to flank this large, ornate metal, stone, and glowing light. In your eyes, it'd be a short throne, but
Fulton.
Yes?
The helm is damaged. Must repair. Use spells. Any one of you guys speak common?
the men shrug. Some of them manage a halting sentence no better than your own.
Helm is powered by magic, so expend spell to repair.
Point me to the helm.
It's
damage
a big
part.
glowing thing.
She gestures to the ornate throne.
Can I tell anything about it that's off? Does it have cracks in it? Is it?
It's well, the right half of it is splattered in blood, and the left half of it seems to have some shrapnel stuck in the armrests and the seat.
And any spell will do. It feeds on energy.
Ah.
Yeah, that's actually how they work.
So just feed a spell to the throne.
Keep feeding it spells till it works again, yeah. Only a spellcaster can use them, and the only spellcaster on board is piloting it right now, so...
Fulton will look at Avalothel. Do I need to sit in it?
No. Just cast on it.
Okay. Fulton will begin casting. First with this. What is a first level spell?
You feel the spell get sucked out of your hands as though this chair was a spell storing item.
Good.
A few small dents undent themselves on the side. More gunfire rocks the ship, and it sounds like Garazan is swearing up a storm below deck.
None of you know how to aim!
Fault will convert a level 3 spell into the appropriate cure level, which I forget what that is.
Minor, lesser wounds, medium wounds, serious wounds.
Yes,
And
so
then-
that is going into the throat.
It seems to all the visible damages and injuries to it seem to melt away, and some of the blood even cleans itself off.
Okay, I'm going to try to raise the ship up again.
The ship creaks under the sudden pressure, and you begin to move upwards, but the Illithid ship soon follows. They can't quite get a firing solution on you while they're trying to overtake, though.
Can we shoot at them?
Nope.
That's fine. We just need to move out of the slow flow and into the fast one, and then we can outrun them.
On
The
repairs,
ships aren't very
then.
fast.
Well, can the ship be physically repaired? Like an actual sit down with supplies, or is magic the only option?
The ship itself is mundane. I can't actually hear you, but out of character, the ship itself is mundane, and
Well, I'm asking the nearest elf, will me hammering a hole shut do anything? And he probably responds.
the ships themselves are mundane. The helm's the only magic thing about them.
Okay, then. That means I can actually go around help fixing the ship, so I'll do that while not shooting.
Well, you do not have the time to begin shoring up the hull, but the elves say, "We're about to speed. If we're lucky, we're about to speed up massively. Help secure the cannons."
Aye.
And they begin going about strapping the cannons down as though they're expecting the deck to heave or something.
I shrug. I have no idea what they want to do, but I'm going to assume maybe there's a heavy current they're going into. Frankly, I don't know anymore.
I hit the intercom. Hey crew, this is your new captain. We're about to be going very, very fast, so make sure you hold on so you don't fall on your asses.
I held on to a tied down cannon.
You see the rushing of faint light through the above you, and that you have mere moments' warning before suddenly you re-enter the rapid stream of flow of the phlogiston that passes between crystal spheres, and the ship is catapulted to its normal cruising speed. The Illithid vessel, far too heavy to manage the same acceleration, suddenly falls rapidly behind you.
Yeehaw! Now we just need to get this to the nearest elf port. And I have no clue where we are. Yay.
You finally take notice that the lieutenant rather embarrassedly informs you that sadly their helmsman was their navigator as well. They have a recent fix, but they don't know where the current might have dragged them during the battle.
Okay. Where was the last crystal sphere you guys were at?
We were... I had the names here. Just out of gray space.
Ooh, okay. This shouldn't be... if we're on the fast flow out of gray space, that means it's just a week or so on this path. Should just be a week or so on this path to realm space. I'm just going to take some measurements and try to confirm that. Knowledge nature.
Yep.
I rolled poorly.
It's iffy, but they may be able to take measurements along the way to correct the course from there.
Okay.
If you're
yeah.
lucky.
There is only one fast flow that goes out of gray space, and it goes directly to realm space, so we should be good. There's a port there.
Thank you greatly for your aid, ma'am.
That's what I do.
And the crew begins all fading away. Although, as they do, you finally recognize that lieutenant you were aiding. Someday, he'll be your captain on your first mate expedition.
Oh. It's weird. Is this making us time travel?
I think time might be broke.
No, things are working perfectly.
We're in the land of the dead, experiencing personal journeys. We're at
Is
the
this effective with my own crew?
we're at a domain at the height of a goddess's power.
Well, that was nice. Better than Garazen's vision. Thanks for the cannon help, buddy.
As a lot of you reconvene aboard this now abandoned vessel, drifting silently through the flow, Avealathel, you notice a door to the forecastle that you don't think it was at that end of the gunnery deck when you first came on.
Nope, I guess this is where we're going, guys.
Alright.
Because that door wasn't there before and it is now.
Fulton will attempt to open the door, but I have a feeling I know what's going to happen.
You grip the door and does not seem to open.
I guess it's Pharasma's turn.
What?
We've all tried, so...
Well, we didn't try, but I'm just guessing through simple observation that it's Pharasma's turn.
If you are considered mortal now...
And let me tell you, I cannot wait to see what's on your side of this door.
I doubt we'll be able to understand it.
Me too, but it'll be something to look at.
She looks between the three of you confusedly and steps forward, takes hold of the handle, and cracks the door open.
Alrighty, let's see what's in here. What do gods dream of, or have in their past? What dirty secrets? What time warp shenanigans are they get up to?
You all step through. And as you step through one by one, you each sort of fade from view of the other, as though stepping into a dark mist. And no one hears the door close behind them. None of you can see the others.
Hello?
Or hear.
Bugger.
Oh, this is fun.
And slowly a noise begins to come over you all, and you all realize that you're laying on your backs under something or another individually. After a moment, you manage to push whatever it is off of you, and you realize, all of you, that you're on some kind of battlefield. You just pushed a body off of the top of you.
Gross. Whose body is it?
It's your mom. Dun dun dun.
Some disfigured, unrecognizable form, torn apart by many weapons and blasted with who knows what kind of magics.
Wow, you died fucking fighting. Good on you. Look around then.
Getting up, I assume there are more bodies.
As you all stand, you can all see each other scattered about across a distance maybe of 80 feet or so from each other, and it is a vast and endless field of horribly torn and damaged bodies in every direction, all the way to the red, misty horizon. 2 suns high above you in the sky cast a horrible reddish glare over the whole place, and only the black smoke serves as to give some contrast of color. You can hear battle going on in the distance all around. Must be beyond that mist because you cannot see anything moving except yourselves. Erasma is dressed differently than she was a moment ago. No longer with silver hair and the black and red outfit that she was in. Now she wears the same armor, a silver and black streaked armor, badly battered and damaged as all of these fallen bodies, or at least those still intact enough that you can recognize the armor. She carries a... What would she be carrying? Say... Is it a sickle? No. She carries a spear in one hand and a dagger in the other. Why are you? And she looks over this battlefield with recollection in her eyes is probably the best way to call that expression. She gestures to gather all of you near her.
I gather near her.
Going to Pharasma.
Your moments, those scenes we have just gone through, you may understand that they are metaphorical, that they are transient, but they all have a purpose. To give you a glimpse of something that you didn't know about your life that led you here. They're a last moment for closure in something that you may have wondered at some point in your life. Sometimes it's vastly, it's a vast importance to you. Sometimes it's something trivial. All it's meant to do is give you a moment of closure about some mystery of your life. You, Fulton, who never knew your true parents before you took up the faith and perhaps replaced your parents in your heart with it. You, Garazan, never knew that you were raised by your aunt. And I do not know how much import my vision may have had on you, Madame Leonathel, but it must have at some point crossed your mind, at some point in your life. I tell you this because none of this is true here.
So, should I start shooting and making this a win, or...?
I am telling you that I would not create this place. Someone else crafted this mystery for us. It is just a name. Don't attach too much meaning to it. Someone else crafted this scene. I am not certain that it is as harmless and intangible as yours have been.
Get the gun out.
Careful.
Fulton draws
We
his
win this
sword.
battle. Slavery legal.
Meanwhile, Shinalar,
Hi.
when you wake up, you were not expecting to still be in that room. You even less were expecting that laying on the floor beside you, seemingly unconscious, is a familiar shape. Ball points. Ball points.
Oh, God, why?
Thank you, Brad. Necessary levity.
Good. Excellent.
Actually, it'd be worse if that was an unfamiliar shape.
What's this? I've never seen this before.
It's some sort of triangle within a cube within a pyramid.
It's blowing my mind.
How many edges does it have? It's not possible. It's not possible. Ahem. A familiar winged form, seemingly unconscious, beside you, of Anashaba.
Well, she's gonna scramble over and, check her.
She comes conscious and sits up. This is not right. What happened to you? And you look down at your own form, familiar in some ways, different in others. And that's probably a good place to draw it closed for today.
And now we're left to wonder how long it'll be before Shinolar's actually with the rest of the group again.
It's like a sphere, but it's dimensional.
I believe we can all stop describing a circle now.
Yes.
Nope. I will never stop.
So, I will see you all in a couple weeks. Find out what becomes of this.
Yep, there's his head. His head fucking.
Shalinar has turned into a humanoid-shaped brick of cheese.
What?
No.
You wouldn't see it coming.
I admit I would not have seen that coming. Fortunately, that's not what me and Kaylee have written.
See, I'm the master of the plot twist.
Master of the camembert, but
Well,